Mr. Nimbus, introduce yourself again for the wonderful people.
What's
and
up,
Mr.
guys?
Degenerate.
Hi, Nimbus. Your hair is sexy.
Thank you. There's no horsing around when it comes to hair.
Oh, God.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Nimbus.
Alright, so I've been playing for a really long time, since beginning almost, and right now I'm playing with VV Gaming. I'm team captain, and I do some community stuff like some videos to help people out, and I did NASC before. That's pretty much me.
All right, and Mr. Degenerate?
I'm with CPOR. We started quite a while ago. I don't even know when. It just kind of happened. We do a lot of playing, like hours and hours, to the point where it's borderline inappropriate. We host a couple servers on Elite. I also work with a group called Elite Fist Gaming, which hosts 3 more, I think, on Elite right now, and 1 in Storm, and we're hoping to get a couple more there. And that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, and winners?
And of course, you know me, it's Winners with the One from the Independent Broadcast Network. We do a lot of casting for Shootmania and all sorts of other games. But tonight we're talking Shootmania, we're talking Hit Scan, and we're talking about all the things that are happening, which there are a few things happening, and we will discuss those things coming up. That's the plan anyway. I don't know. Things could change at any minute now. People are in horse masks. Volumes are changing. We just don't know. But that's who I am, and a little bit of information about myself. But let's talk about you for a while.
Yeah, there's nothing special to say about me. Injured, I kind of jump from game to game. We got to cast at IPL 5 there for a little bit, and we're slated to cast at IPL 6, and our hope is that that is still the case. So fingers crossed there. And hopefully we will all be able to get there, as I think all of us were on the docket to be at IPL 6, if memory serves me correct.
Indeed.
And so,
yes, I think the fates are leading us all to be there, yes. But currently we haven't heard anything official. There have been a lot of rumors during the past week about whether IPL 6 is or is not happening. I guess that's the first thing we're talking about today, yes, because it's kind of foremost on everybody's mind. Right now we're hearing that we probably won't hear anything today, that it will probably be tomorrow before we know something official. But as of now, this thing's still going on. The hotel has not started canceling anything, and nor has the IGN Pro Leagues. So we're kind of in a holding pattern as far as I know, guys. Anybody got any hot scoops and rumors?
I mean, it's the same with just the GameSpot. I think it was the last big thing with a few sources saying that it's going to be canceled to return goods, and it's not looking good right now. I hope that because they're not saying anything, it's because they might have found a way to continue it, because there's no point if not. And maybe they're going to find a buyer, something like that.
Yes, yeah, sources are telling us that Red Bull may be in the talks to acquire IPL. So we may be it may be the Red Bull International Pro League. We'll find out for sure. That is just sources unconfirmed are telling us here at HitScan.
So how would you say that? Would it be like Ribbapple?
Ribbapple? That sounds like some kind of dirty maneuver.
Man. They figured out a way to make a guy jump from outer space. Surely they can find a way to put on a damn Shootmania tournament in Las Vegas for us.
I feel like that's a completely different problem set, dude.
Well, something tells me the administrative effort that's put in to have a guy enter the atmosphere was a little bit more intensive than flying some people to this country.
I don't know, man. You guys are at IPL 5. I don't know. Logistically, it is similar to putting someone in low Earth orbit and leaping to their potential doom.
Yeah, they just had to deal with one person leaping to their potential doom, not, everybody who lost a match at IPL.
Yeah, entire teams, yes.
Entire LOL teams. Just
and lost beanies
from
Grego.
And lost beanies from Grego. And the entire VVV team breaking everything they touched. Terrible people. But yeah, I mean, the rumors keep spreading, and I don't know. I think it's good that the community is like letting this be known out there, but part of me is like, the more these rumors spread, the more it's going to be that the situation is going to imitate the rumors, and people are just going to be like, well, obviously everybody thinks we're not going to do it, so let's just not do it. And that's kind of my worry.
Yeah.
Well, we've learned that these guys are pretty legit, and we've learned to trust them, the IPL folks, David Ting and his crew. So
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just going to I'm still in a wait and see. I'm trying to keep my optimism about it, because certainly nobody's indicated anything from the people that we talked to at IPL that would lead us to think otherwise. So we're just putting our trust in them, and when we know something for sure, and hopefully that will be soon, then we can all rejoice and have a good time. I do know that the IPL qualifiers are going on regardless. Josh, you told us that was for a reason.
Yeah,
so
he
there
said.
will obviously be some sort of Shootmania tournament that they will continue with, regardless of whether it is at the venue or not.
If I'm not mistaken, he said regardless it would be for reason. Like there's
maybe
no,
for the next one.
Yeah, there's like this isn't going to be something that becomes completely moot one way or another. This will mean something, whether that means it's going to be some type of online tournament, or whether it's going to be something for a future LAN event, or whatever that may be. There is a reason.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was it.
Okay, sorry about that. All right. I'm gonna
Very astute, sir.
Speaking now. Okay. So what I'm afraid of is that because it's maybe going to be postponed, and a lot of flights are going to be canceled, it's going to be really hard to regain the trust from the teams. And are they going to be able to send, the teams right away back to another land? I mean, if it's going to happen a month later or something like that. And it's probably going to be, if it's postponed, it's going to take the place of IPL 7.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, and then, I mean, my question for you, Nimbus, is I don't know what exactly VVV provides for your team, but, have you started the talking process at all with them or anything about, like, should we get a plane? Should we not get a plane? Are they saying, look, we're not doing it until we have more info? Like, from the sponsor aspect of things, what is going on?
Yeah, well, right now, they agreed to pay for flights, so they said they were going to transfer the money, towards March, I think it was 10th, but right now it's, everything's maybe. So the more we wait, the more the flights are going to cost more, so... But right now they're not objecting, and they're just, waiting like we are. So we're not booking anything right now. We're not doing anything. So if it's gonna happen, I'm pretty sure they're gonna deliver anyways, even if it's last minute.
Okay, so they're not boycotting it, but they're definitely being cautious.
It's cautious like everybody else, I think, right now, and they don't have more sources than we do right now. I'm pretty sure, anyways.
Right, absolutely. And I'm sure they're not going to air any of the dirty laundry, or maybe clean laundry. They don't want to get on IPL's bad side or offend them anyway. So,
Sure.
So what do you guys, as far as I don't know if there's anyone out here. I mean, we all had our trips paid for. We've been seeing a lot that there's a lot of people on Reddit saying, like, yo, I don't know if you saw that one guy was saying he's from Finland and he's got non-refundable tickets. And what do you see that doing for IPL? Like, if this doesn't go, is it going to be a complete blowout on IGN? Do you know anybody personally who had tickets that might not be able to go now if this gets canceled, or non-refundable tickets or anything like that?
Well, right now, I have a friend who wants to go to PAX and qualify, but if there's no reason to, you need to invest to go there, and if it's not going to happen finally, it's, a big investment for nothing. And for somebody like going from Finland, with a non-refundable ticket, I doubt he's going to go again with IPL. So if Ziff Davis wants to sell IPL and to the highest bidder, I'm pretty sure that's going to affect the price a little bit, because there's going to be less people attending for the next one if it has the same name.
Yeah, one would think that if they are looking to sell IPL as a brand, which they were talking about doing before we heard these rumors, we do know that that was something that they're doing, is shopping it to potential buyers. It seems like this would be a good platform with which to market that. If they were looking to dump off the brand, you would want to go out, in that blaze of glory, so to speak, so that people see this event and say this is the kind of value added when you do your stuff through IPL, through the people that we have at IGN Pro League. So really it's a question of value of sale, too, on top of it. But yeah, I've got several friends that were coming in for it that were paying their own way. So and right now, according to the hotel, the event is still happening. So nothing has changed as far as that goes. But yeah, there are quite a few people that make it an event that they travel to. I mean, the Vegas venue is pretty nice. It's a high quality production all the way through. And a lot of people have planned around going to this event. So I've still got my fingers crossed, y'all. I can't help but have some hope that it's still going to go through as planned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. And for those of you who are really like on the edge of the seat for that update, there's a guy by the name of Chris Chan who is going to be having David Ting on his show tomorrow. His show is called Climbing the Ladder. And man, I'm trying to remember what his page is. It's www.twitch.tv/.
I believe it's ChanmanV.
Yeah, ChanmanV. So there tomorrow at 5, David Ting should be on the show, and I think is going to let us know what's going on. So
yeah, so
exciting,
if I
scary.
understand correctly, they're going to have David Ting and also Sundance from MLG. So that should be an interesting show, especially after Sundance was offering discount MLG tickets to anybody who wasn't going to get to go to IPL. I don't know how that played out, but I guess we'll find out more on all this stuff tomorrow, is the latest that we've heard.
Yeah, man, kind of scary, but I just want to know what's happening. I was really looking forward to go to IPL 6.
Yeah, for sure. And I canceled the LAN here for I have a LAN that's called LAN ETS, which happened this weekend, and I decided not to go and sell my ticket because I thought I was going to have IPL, and I might go also to PAX, so, I was like, oh, too much LAN in a month, but if IPL 6 is not happening, this kind of sucks, because it happens once a year here, and, but, people have it worse, like, they have their tickets non-refundable, and,
Right.
How do you have too much LAN in a month, Nimbus?
I mean, some.
That's like
some
having too much. That's like
budget.
having too much water in a day. Yeah, I guess it's possible, but good luck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some percentage of your budget has to go to food, and stuff
I disagree.
Like
I disagree completely. You need caffeine. That's it.
yeah,
A man
but,
can live on
that's
caffeine and ramen.
it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole IPL thing. We all just need to kind of stop and wait and see. Like I said before, I don't think the rumors are really helping. I mean, it's good that everybody knows, but there's people in the community saying it's not happening, and nobody knows that for sure. Nobody knows it's not happening, and IPL is trying to play this as smart as they can from a business perspective. They need to not say yes or no until they know for sure, because if it turns out they're wrong in either direction, it's going to make that brand unsellable.
Yeah.
I think that's basically it.
Yeah, does anybody have anything else they want to add to about like IPL, the rumors, kind of where we're at? I think now that we know, all of us are kind of just waiting in anticipation.
Yeah, I wish we had more to add to it, man.
Yeah.
There's just really not much to say other than that. We're all just kind of waiting to see.
Yeah.
As we have been for the last week or so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to pass the next part off to Degenerate. Then you wanted to talk a little bit about the customizability of the game and kind of some questions that arise because of that. And so I'll let you kind of dive in and see what you got to say, what you think.
Well, basically, in the last week or so, Leapfist Gaming set up a Instagib CTF server in Storm, and that just turned into absolute hell for a couple days for me. Wading through undocumented Mania script things and trying to figure out and reading forum posts and stuff like that. You have any idea how hard it is to translate a forum post from French and then use it as documentation and programming? It's not a good time. It is not a good time at all.
For me, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, well, next time I'm just going to make you do it. I'm going to send you the French forum post and be like, I need this all translated and written in a way I can read.
On my desk by Monday, yeah.
On my desk by Monday, yes. With my Steel Series headset. But yeah, I mean, the game it's marketed to be highly customizable. We've seen that with modes like Speedball and Capture the Flag and all those. And those are great. Those are absolutely fine. But what I found a lot in my research is that there are certain limitations. I mean, Slugs in chat, he can kind of back me up on this. There are certain things that you cannot do. The script does not allow. Hylas has said that they're going to try to open it up slowly but surely so it doesn't just become a Quake clone, which I guess is all right. But by the same token, I mean, I think that we as a community, like if they want the community to build these modes and keep the game, like being able to customize the game is great. It keeps it fresh. It keeps it going. You know, you never know when you're going to open up Storm and be like, what is this game mode? Where did Obstacle come from? You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, we need the documentation. We need to be able to. I'm sure it exists because people have obviously done it. I mean, there's, all kinds of things out there on Mania Park and stuff like that for scripts. But
well, what are some of those things that you can't do that you're hoping to do?
You cannot do weapon switches. I might have come up with a weird way to do it, but I'm not sure. Basically, the only way that your weapons can switch in the game, from what I understand, is if you're dead. That's the only way. Now, you would think, okay, so I'll just, when the person runs over where the weapon is, I'll just kill them real quick and bring them back in, half a second or less. But you can't do that because the respawn timer is also hard-coded, from what I understand. I could be wrong. I'm not really good with French. Mm-hmm. But there's other things like that. I mean,
so you're thinking of like some type of actually like free for all where you can run around the map, pick up different weapons instead of having to stand on a laser pad. You pick up the laser, you're running around with the laser.
It wasn't so much that I was thinking, hey, this would be the best idea ever. It was more I was just playing with the ideas of what I could and could not do and wading through the Mania script. I mean, and there's also cool things that it looks like you can do with the Mania script. For instance, I'm not sure how many of you guys have ever played with the map editor, but out of the box, you can only put things one of four directions, north, south, east, west. You can apparently add cardinal directions, so you can put things at 45-degree angles and start making more interesting maps. Mm. But there's this level of, I need to script this in and write a little plugin for it, but I don't have the documentation needed to do that. And once again, I might be wrong, but from what I found, it's lacking, if there at all.
I've only played around with the map editor for like maybe 30 minutes, and I was just like raging because I was trying to completely seal off like an area so people couldn't spawn and like go off the map. And every time I tried to build something, it just wouldn't work. I'm like, just build there.
It's gotten a little better. It's gotten a little better. I mean, there's certain blocks now that you can stack on top of each other and stuff like that. But yeah, it can be a little frustrating sometimes. I tried to make a map that was more of like a tower than an actual laid out landscape. That was 2 hours of hell.
I could only imagine. I just, like I said, I just started. I was having fun, and I was just like, man, I have a brand new appreciation for every map out there. Like, especially when people were like kind of like giving people crap about those IPL 6 maps. I'm like, dude, that is way better than anything I could ever make. That is so good. Like, it is so difficult for me.
Well, and as far as the scripting stuff, what I was hoping was that there's a little bit of a foundation based on what people have done already with Trackmania and kind of used a lot of the scripting. But some of the things you're talking about, they really don't have any precedent in Trackmania because there's no weapon switching, obviously, or anything like that. to have to deal with. But I know the new Trackmania is coming out too here pretty soon, the Stadium. But a lot of people mess with the scripting in that probably more than Shootmania, and so hopefully there are some things in there that will translate over, and we can just change a few things here and there and build from that. I'm not really sure. I need to look at it more myself, to be honest. But.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's based on the same engine, so it uses the same script, and pretty much like if you know Trackmania, how to make modes and change it a little bit, you're gonna know Shootmania. But there's still a lot of stuff, because it's an FPS, it's pretty different, and there's still a lot of stuff since it's really early. It's not even released yet. That's not discovered yet, and there needs to be for sure like a site that goes and just gives a tutorial on how to do this and that, and like edit scripts and really more visualized instead of just here's a document, a manual of like 300 pages of
Wait,
Yeah,
well,
I mean-
I want to revisit what he's saying real quick, because that was going to be one of my main questions. Is you said there is this document or there is not? Because I feel like
there's
not.
there's actually a document on the Mania script somewhere. I'm gonna have to look, but I know there's somewhere that shows like every command what it does and etc.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, you need a little bit. I found
Yeah.
that specific, and that's how I figured out the whole cardinal directions and things like that. But it's a matter of, okay, how do I translate this command into an actual script? Because there's more to it than that. There's certain rules and things that you need to follow in any scripting language. And from what I found, pointers in this language are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
And they're,
if
it's
and if you said, like you said before, you said it was limited, and it's pretty true. They wanted to keep the same, movement and stuff. You can't make the guy go faster when he goes, on this pad he goes this times faster. There's
Yep.
some stuff that stay the same, so that you don't switch modes and then you're like, whoa, what is this, but at the same time, it's bad because you can't customize it as much. I'm sure there would be like insane modes if you could just do anything else. They could have a bit like a Quake clone, but you can have like a power up that makes you go faster or something like that. You can have more stamina, or you can have special pads that from the offense that gives you rockets instead, maybe, and you have more rockets that shoot faster. I don't know. You can go crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
low gravity would be awesome.
I
too,
was
especially if you're doing
just
it.
thinking that.
yeah,
I was thinking
exactly.
of Scout's knives from Counter-Strike. Do you remember that, Winners?
Yeah.
Like I was thinking like stuff like that would be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's who was it? Hashaki just said in chat that there's a lot of you can't set any values higher than what they are default in the game. You can only set them lower. So really, realistically, all we could do would be to turn the gravity up and not be able to jump at all.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. They need to open it up a little bit more, and they need to start either the community needs to start putting out the documentation through the wiki, or Nadio as a whole needs to release some at least start of the documentation, because as of right now, I feel that the situation we're in right now is just going to stifle creativity. There's only so many game modes and things that we can come up with the parameters we're given right now.
Well, yeah, I could see why that is, but Hashaki just said that there's certain things that they're not going to open up, which I kind of get though, because you could essentially, once you do that, you're allowing somebody else to make new games within your game. Like now you're a game creating engine instead of allowing someone to use a certain shell that you have and then manipulate other things. I don't think it should be completely open. If it's completely open, you've essentially put however many hours of work, money, time, everything into giving people the tools to actually make their own game.
Yeah, it's a tough call, man, because the philosophy of Mania Planet is basically as you described from what we've heard from Hylas, is that it's a for which we put the type of games that we like to play, and that the community should dictate a lot of that. So yeah, it's a question of where is the line drawn, and can you make your own weapons? I think that's something that is out of our reach at the moment. And yeah, some of those alter the basic heart of the game, but when they talk about the philosophy of what they're going at with Mania Planet, it's to give people the tools to do those things. So it's kind of a question of how far do they want to take it, because I think the modding community is willing to take it as far as the tools will let them.
Well, and I think a follow-up question to that would be, this is still such a young, new community. Like, what if 5 years from now, right, and then we had this really strong base of what the game is and what people love. Then you open those things up and people want to have the feel of Shootmania. You know what I mean? They don't want to create something else. They want to still keep it Shootmania, but have it be absolutely bananas. You know what I mean? So that way it's kind of still in theme.
Mm-hmm.
That Shootmania is already absolutely bananas. You just need to be on the right servers. It's ridiculous. Nimbus knows what I'm talking about. But I mean, yeah, that's very true. But the thing of it is all right, if we open up completely, then we've essentially released the UDK engine, and there's no real point to having Shootmania because people are just going to be making other game modes.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was saying, yeah.
Yeah, but by the same token, I mean, they're also worried about like people coming out with game modes and new players coming in and being like, "What is this? What do I do here? Why am I shooting ducks out of my hand?" I don't. But the point of the matter is that the community will kind of weed those out. Like, bad game types won't last. I mean, that's how it is. There are certain game types that people are going to look at as a group and as a collective and just go, "We're not going to do that. We are not going to shoot ducks out of our hands at each other." Though that sounds amazing, I need to write this idea down. Any of you in chat steal my idea, I will fight you. But yeah, the community kind of governs itself, and that's one great thing about the internet and gaming communities and stuff like that, is that they do, to an extent, govern themselves when it comes to things like this. I mean, there's a reason nobody liked going on servers that played really loud music in Counter-Strike for a while there, and eventually you stop seeing that as much because nobody wanted to go on them and nobody wanted to be listened to. God only knows what while they were playing Counter-Strike.
Right.
It's one of those things. I think that I'm not saying open it up completely. I'm not saying that at all. I think that's a terrible business idea, and I think that's terrible from a programming perspective. But I think that it's a good idea to start opening it up now, and even if you just start with giving us the documentation and seeing what we can come up with.
So, Nimbus, is there any current game mode that you see that you absolutely love and would like to see it played competitively?
Still have Speedball as a favorite. I think it's really fun, and it can be played 3v3, or it can be played even more than that. But what I'd like to see in a competitive Joust, maybe more tournaments a little bit. Joust is pretty fun. It's really competitive, and it's not anything. It's not anything special, but it's still fun and competitive. What else? I'd like to see some time attack. Some races, like almost like Trackmania, but with the Shootmania characters, and you just you try to have the best time there, but I don't know.
I hate Joust so much, mostly because I'm bad at it, but I still hate it. I don't like it at all. Yeah, the time attack thing would definitely be cool. That's where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about how much I dislike Joust. Shut up. It is that powerful of a disdain for Joust. Yeah. But yeah, the time attack thing I think would be pretty cool. I'm not sure if you could ever see that as a main event kind of competitive thing, but it'd be cool to, like, if you were at IPL or whatever and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're doing Shootmania as a side event. After everything's done, we're gonna do an obstacle run, and everybody's gonna try to beat Tailspin's time because he's amazing at that."
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah,
I would like to see freeze tag come back. I don't know if that's possible. I know somebody was doing a vampire mode, weren't they? And Speedball is very awesome, and at IPL 5, a lot of people had fun playing that. When we just brought people in to play, it seemed to really get the crowd response. Lots of high fives from strangers that played well in Speedball. So things like that, and I don't know. The sky's the limit, really, isn't it? As far as those sorts of game modes. Hopefully, that's the kind of thing that we could do without tipping the balance of what the game is too much.
I think it helped at IPL that we also had somebody yelling, casting things in Spanish during Speedball. That was amazing.
Yes, that does help. The enthusiasm level ramps up quite a bit, yes.
Oh, man, it would have been fun to see Papi Navidad.
Papi Navidad? That was you that actually coined him with Papi Navidad, wasn't it?
It was,
It was Father Christmas in game, and you're Papi Navidad! That's great. I wish we had that on video. That was amazing. But yeah, I mean, Speedball is definitely a great competitive mode. You can tell by how frustrated you get when you're not playing with an organized team, and then you get a whole bunch of people together who know, like, kind of each other's play styles, or you have comms with them, and you just start, wrecking things. It's a great game mode. Heroes, actually, I just played Heroes for the first time recently. With it was a bunch of the CPLR guys and a bunch of the crit guys, and it was a good time, man. Like, and we had Flamehopper. We were borrowing Flamehopper. I'm sorry, Nimbus. He's apparently really good at Heroes, but yeah, it was a good time, and I could see that being competitive. Instagib CTF. I'd like to see that, mostly because I'm all right at it, but it's I could see any one of those becoming a competitive mode, and I would like to see competitions start coming out for these different modes. I think that'd be the way to go about it.
I don't want to sound like a complete jerk when I say this because I love Elite.
You're absolutely going to just go with it.
I'm quitting.
I love these other game modes because it does add a different level of depth, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Introducing a little bit more players, introducing like an objective that both teams are trying to manipulate at the same time, like it just adds depth.
Manipulate. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like Elite. I play a lot of hours of Elite, but I'm not entirely convinced yet that it should be the de facto go-to competitive game. I like it. I enjoy it. Please send hate mail to Nimbus. He'll forward it to me, I swear.
I like that it's different.
People have said that, yeah, because even DJ Wheat said that a year from now he questions whether Elite will be the go-to competitive mode for Shoot Mania, that it might be something else. But yeah, it's fun, and but it's harder to get people into. What I'm finding is because you've already got your teams a lot, and it's hard to find pickup type of events and games to get into, or you join and then they're like, we're waiting on somebody else. So it's harder to pick up as a casual player. So there may be more things that we can do on the infrastructure to change that, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll just have to, that over the next year we'll see. But right now it's certainly been entertaining when we see it in tournaments and stuff. It really shines when you get it in these competitive play type of situations. But is it the future? Who knows?
All right, I'm saying this right now, because that way when it happens, hopefully this is documented that it's coming from here first, and I feel like all tournament organizers should move in this direction a little bit, because I've been reading Reddit a little bit and people are talking about kind of the viewer experience not being really that great, and I feel like a lot of the times that's because the people who go to actually view are like the right under wanting, or like really want to be pro, or like just under the ability to be pro, so like they kind of they like competition. So why not have competitions there for the viewers, right? Have like stations set up where it is like the like Speedball tournament. It is a Instagib CTF tournament. Like StarCraft 2. How fun would it be to go to a StarCraft 2 event and have a Colonial Line Wars tournament? right? Where just like you and a couple friends get together and you have a tournament of Colonial Line Wars, or like you go to a League of Legend competition and you have an like AR only mid or all mid competition, or like it's something that is different, but you're like playing it for fun for competition, and like the reward is like tons of swag or something, right? So it's not like you're actually like losing money, but the people are gaining something.
Yeah. Well, they're doing that with events like PAX and stuff like that. But for sure, IPL and the next event, they should have something tournaments on the side. Because last time at IPL 5, people were so psyched. It was like a speedball booth, and people were streaming louder than the people who were playing, on the main stage. That was crazy.
Right?
That was definitely interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were getting so hype, and the thing is so you set this tournament up, and I don't know if you like make this a rule or not, but you set it up where people who are waiting to play want to watch the actual competition, and then they're waiting for their turn to get in, right? So you make it a rule like your team has to be there 30 minutes early or something like that, right? So what do? They sit and they watch the competition, and then you call them like, yo, Team Degenerate, you're up. You guys step in to go play, and so you keep filtering people into these games to watch them, like actually watch them, especially for some of these smaller games.
Team Degenerate beats Team Edward 2-1. Go! Sorry. Well, yeah, I think that would work. I think logistically it might be a little bit hard, but if you get all that hammered out, absolutely. You should absolutely do this, Indrid. Make things happen.
Right. I'll go talk to my peeps.
Go talk to people.
Yeah, I'll run the whole thing from my phone, just like we did at the last tournament.
Right, exactly.
That was ridiculous.
Winners, what's the map set? Oh, I don't know. I got my phone.
I've never seen a smartphone be so aptly used as Winners sitting there going, yeah, it's SK and Fnatic next on Castle Crasher. I don't need to find a computer. I just need to find Winners. And he'd be over there in the side of the room, drinking a cup of water, pulling out his phone because he saw me walking toward him. It was good. I need a smartphone. That's the end of that story. I need to get a smartphone.
It's this hot new technology. It's changing the world, man. There's an app for that.
Punch you in the app.
I don't know. I just think that would be so much fun, man. That is just me.
But going back to Elite as a casual and competitive mode, I think if like they were testing matchmaking, but I never saw a server there. But imagine Elite 3v3, but something like League of Legends, where you would go in a queue, and then if there's more people right now, it wouldn't work, but later on, and you would be matched up with people with the same rank, and integrate voice chat inside or something like that. So you play for actual rank, some real ranks, and you can have maybe some leagues or something like that, and that would really make it so that you just don't go in a server and then you wait, and then people might go or people might not go. You can actually join a queue, and you're automatically put in with people same rank as you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh, Bosnak just put IPL 6 update in the chat.
Oh gosh.
All right.
All the clicking.
Yep. Reddit's about to go down.
I wish we had
actually
that
put
kind
it
of
in
power.
Korean too. Right.
Oh, that's the thing where they were saying that they've sent out an email to some team managers asking what their expenses are, their flight expenses and so forth for IPL, and to, I guess, get a head count of how much that's going to be, or hopefully for the purposes of saying it would cost a lot more to back out on this event now than it would to go ahead with it, to whatever the higher up people are that would be looking at those numbers. That would be my speculation on it, or sources close to ItScan tell us that.
Yeah, but it says right here, StarCraft 2 Division Manager. Is it going to be for every player, for every game, or is it just, StarCraft? Are they going to...
Well, no offense to Shoot Mania. I love the game very much. My guess is they did this to StarCraft and will be doing it to League. And then Shoot Mania, it's kind of like,
Yeah,
well, I feel
Shoot Mania is still the bastard child
that they will be covering at IPL 6. They're going to wait till last and get these lesser games such as League of Legends and the StarCrafts out of the way,
Right,
so
yeah,
that they
top
can
priority.
pave the way for the main event. So
Right,
and,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
yeah, it couldn't be anything else.
We should all learn to speak Korean. That'd probably be a useful skill.
I don't know. French would be good for Shootmania, you know, because
French
Europe
would be
and
good for
stuff.
Shootmania.
Yeah,
Oui,
yeah.
oui.
Oui, oui. No, no.
Nobody says yes twice.
What? I do
Lies.
all the time. Are you kidding me?
Who are you, Pepe
Yes,
Le
yes,
Pew?
I do.
That's worrisome. That's worrisome that you would admit that.
All right, so I have a question that is kind of related, but kind of not related. Back to what we were talking about the customizability and everything.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about like getting resources together, and in the last episode we talked a lot about how do we get everything kind of under one umbrella more. Nimbus, I know that VVV has a pretty active forum section and is used pretty frequently. But I want to ask you guys here, because you all are pretty involved in the community. I am not. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like never involved in my communities. I just show up for the things I want to do, and then like I never touch it. And I'm being so serious. So have you guys ever gone to the Mania Planet forums?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Really? So then how is it there? Because that's what I always wonder. Like, I feel like Reddit really doesn't have that much action. Is there action on the Mania Planet forums?
In certain area, I'm sorry, I'll let Nimbus talk after this. I'm talking first, Nimbus.
No
Calm down. In certain areas there are, as soon as there's a patch or something like that, there's always, the fire off of people back and forthing about that, and there's the people who put up the newest server patch so we can get it as quick as possible and stuff like that. There's the forums on Mania Planet are subdivided into languages. I don't go to the French one for obvious reasons, because oui is about the extent of my French. The ones in English are kind of active, like I said, in certain areas, but not so much in others. There's a lot of people talking about, the netcodes, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? But it's kind of cyclic. When things happen, yes, they get active, and then they die off real quick.
Well, I mainly go to the forums to see stuff that, if Reddit isn't enough, like, for example, making a skin that's, a bit more specific, and when it goes down to it, like, Mania Forum has a little bit more, knowledge on Trackmania and just Mania Planet in a whole, so if you want something that's manuscripts or something that's, something that's not just rumors or the latest news or something like that, you want something specific, you go to the Mania forums.
Yeah, it's a little different than and then you got the Reddit, and then of course you've got shootmaniacompetitive.com, which is the hub of all things North American wise, Shootmania Competitive. But there doesn't seem to be that one go-to type of site yet. You got to visit all those places to get the whole spectrum of Shootmania news. There's Mania Act 2 and some of the other
I was just going to
guys
bring that one up, yeah.
Yeah, that do stuff that they cover more of the overseas stuff, but they are also covering North America as well. So, yeah, right now there's no one central, one forum to rule them all type of place to go. But yeah, Mania Planet is always an interesting place to look, at least. But yeah, not as heavily active as I would have expected it to be.
Yeah.
So, again, I beg the question that I asked in the first episode: what do we do to get to that one-stop shop? When I was talking to some of the EU players, there was a stream that I was watching, and there's a lot of EU players in there, and I was like, "Yo, where do you guys go?" They're like, "We go to IRC," and it's like, that's not like a good place to go. 'Cause I can't leave a message and come back 4 hours from now and have an answer. I now have to scroll through 30 pages of people leaving and joining the channel, trying to sieve through random crap,
Right, and then you have to explain what IRC is to younger people and so forth. Yes.
Internet relay chat?
Yes. ancient of technology that still continues to hover over all of gaming.
DJ,
Because
you
it
had your
works.
hand up.
I was just gonna say, I mean, there are ways to make it so you can ask a question, leave, and come back. Like you can actually search through it without actually scrolling and reading everybody left and everybody joined.
Really? I had no
As an
idea.
FYI, yeah. I don't know. Some of the clients will let you do it too. They'll let you jump right back up to what the last thing you typed was and things like that.
Yeah, those vanity things that'll beep whenever somebody mentions your name and that sort of.
I wouldn't call that vanity. I'd call that utility.
Oh well, 6 of one and half dozen of another, I suppose. Yes.
I feel like we need to have a better place to go for this. I just I want to be able to. So I'm gonna talk about this completely selfishly because that's just how I roll. Let's
Kind of person you are.
Yeah. So let's say I want to say okay. I'm looking for a cast, right?
Hmm.
Really, the only place I can go to is IRC, and I have to kind of get lucky that somebody's watching IRC when I say that, and they go, "Hey, will you yeah, you can cast my screen."
Yeah. Well, there's Steam right now, and you can press Shift Tab, and you see all your, you don't even have the Alt Tab to Steam anymore. You just, you see all your chats. You see Shoot Mania official page with, some latest news a little bit.
Do we have a Steam group? That
yeah,
is,
there's, yeah. And you can just, if somebody hits you up there, you can, hear it and then not even Alt Tab the game. But not everybody has Steam, so
Right.
there's still a problem there.
I happen to know a really good TeamSpeak where everybody's always grabbing each other for scrims. Just saying.
Is it really active? Maybe I'll start idling in there more.
You could. I mean, yeah, give it a try.
It is.
I'm sure Killa and all the Encore guys will be like, yeah, cast our scrim, do things.
I'd be for it. All right, I just realized because of my delay, we're almost at an hour already, so I'm going to jump ahead here again. Does
Okay.
anybody have anything they want to add about the customizability and everything?
I'm for it.
I would.
I
agree.
like you, winners.
I would say I'm for it also.
Yeah.
Right.
More.
All right, so again, I'm going to default to Degenerate. He was kind enough to put this together. And our next section would be about the potential other game modes. We talked about that a little bit. But you're talking about the Fragdiles Royale tournament that will be coming up. And I didn't know if you had something specific you wanted to say about that, or...
That was more just making notes about that there is a potential for other game modes because people are trying it, and we just kind of need to try it more. I'm not sure. I don't think Royale is really the greatest competitive game mode. I'm sorry.
Unless you're betting at IPL 5. Everybody $20.
Shut up, Nimbus.
Was it $20? Anyways, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you got? What are you going on about?
Poker at, yeah.
Yes. So Fragdiles had their Royale tournament. Zotac is having their Joust Cup.
Yep.
So really, those are kind of the only other competitive possibilities, if I'm not mistaken.
As of right now, yes. Those are what's going on, and I mean you are starting to see. I haven't looked because once again, I'm not much for Joust, but I've heard that servers are starting to pop up for Joust, and I guess for the people like my good pal Hats from CPLR, that's a good thing. But
Well,
yeah,
and I
that's
guess we
what
can
you got to deal
expect the Late Fist InstaGib CTF tournament coming up soon, too, right?
Yeah, we've talked about it. It's in the works.
Mm-hmm.
We
That
gotta
would-
make sure the server's gonna work out all right.
That would actually
Yeah.
be really fun. I know I'd support it, and I would try to get on a team for that. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, dude. It's a good time.
Yeah,
Run around,
and
shoot Nimbus.
you were talking to me about, a potential league, SMAL, that could be made. Is it going to be elite only? Is it going to be what's your ideas?
I believe it's like I said in the Reddit post. It's still very early in discussions, but
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to stick with elite at least to begin with, just because that's already kind of established. and possibly move into other things later. I'm not sure.
It'd be interesting to open up some polls with people who participate in that and see what they would want, what type of league they would want to have next, and then do that. And I'm sure if Nadio saw like people being like, "Yeah, I'd much rather play this league than that league," they would consider some type of transition.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing that is Nadio has some kind of say in the fact that they are right now throwing money into certain competitions and things like that. But once again, it's the community is going to make these decisions ultimately. If the community as a whole and as a collective says, we want to play Heroes or Instagib or Joust for some reason, then that's what's going to happen. I mean, Nadio can sit there and fuck about it, but eventually, unless they decide we're just going to completely kill this game mode off right now and, delete any servers from existing and things like that from the master server, then they're not going to be able to do too much about it. That's one thing that's great. It's community driven,
Yeah. Well, and hopefully, we'll get like a better read on that here in the near future. But to kind of close this out, I wanted to highlight a couple things real quick as far as that are upcoming or are coming. Last time we talked about the King of the Hill tournament that is being sponsored by O Gaming TV. Pyrogen actually got knocked off, and Pyrogen's been on an absolute rampage. They qualified. They were I guess technically the second team. I mean, they were one of the first qualifiers for the European side for IPL 6. And they got knocked off. I can't find by who. All I was told was by a French team. So, I'm not really sure who that is. And the way they said it, it makes it. Well, actually, the way they said it, it sounds like they're a random team, like not a really well-known French team. So this is a new coming French team. So we might have another heavy hitter coming out of the EU.
Great! Just what we need. Another heavy hitter coming out of the EU.
Yeah, exactly.
North America, get your shit together.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say, man. We've got to do something.
No, I think that like you can see DM like popped out of nowhere, and they took a place really fairly early on, and there's a lot of new teams going in, and I think we're in a much better position than we were at IPL 5.
See, here's my concern, and I'm not trying to be mean to North America. We are in a much better position than we were. But Europe is still moving forward. That's the thing that's crazy to me. It's like, when are they going to hit that wall where we can slowly start catching up? And that is going to be the interesting part for me. And I think we are
It'll be
way
roughly
better.
the same time Korea hits the wall in StarCraft.
That might be, unfortunately.
Well, and that's another unfortunate byproduct if IPL 6 does go by the wayside, and I'm not ready to give up on it just yet myself. But if it does, that is certainly a setback for the North American community, I think, because one of the things that really helped was getting to do a LAN event at IPL 5 with the European teams and the North American teams, and everybody was very open. They played a lot together and got a better idea of the play styles and stuff, and you started seeing a lot of that spilling over into the North American game. I think it made it stronger, and IPL 6 was only going to serve to strengthen that even further. So, that's another reason that we're really hoping that it goes through, because they put so much into it. IGN has really, the IGN Pro League has stepped up for Shootmania, especially in North America. So, that's one of those avenues by which our scene is strengthened. So, what we do know, and we can't say just yet, is that there are other North American groups looking to get into the Shootmania scene and host tournaments and events. And hopefully we'll be able to talk more about that soon coming up. But we can say with some authority for those of you that are concerned that there will be stuff happening with the North American scene regardless. But we are still holding out hope that we find out some good news tomorrow on IPL.
Absolutely. Okay, I just had this thought because I want to kind of wrap this up because we're running a little late, and that's my fault. But I want to start a new segment of the show every week. Every time we have a special guest, we're going to call it The Grill. And I did not prepare winners or degenerate with this, and Nimbus had no idea either. but I say we like pretty rapid fire, not like super rapid fire, but we just ask him whatever question comes to mind, and then Nimbus, you can most definitely, because I'm kind of afraid of what Degenerate's going to come up with. You can most
What does
definitely,
that mean?
you
Or
can
like have
most
you
definitely
stopped
plead
being
to
your
fifth.
wife or something of those sorts of
Yeah,
things?
you can most definitely plead to fifth. So, so I'll start. You guys think I know Degenerate's already got something cooking. All right, so Nimbus, tell us quick, kind of what's your biggest success in Shoot Mania, and then tell me what team do you fear the most?
Biggest success, I think, is just keeping at it from the beginning. I went through a lot of teammates and a lot of bad times and didn't qualify for IPL 5, but I stick to it and got sponsored. And I think it's just still being there and being strong in the competitive scene is like a big thing. And the team to fear in the world, I feel like Colwyn is going to be better at LAN. It is going to be better than Four Kings and Paragon at LAN. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I feel like they were rusty and the seed might not be true. So I feel like Colwyn, we're going to be matched up with something like that, and that's going to be bad news for us. But in North America, definitely Curse SK. It's really tight. Sometimes SK is better, sometimes Curse is better. So yeah.
All right.
Next.
Winners, you want to go or you want me to?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take one. Sure. Blonde, brunette, or redhead, sir?
Good one.
Brunette. Next.
I like that quite. I wish I'd thought of that. All right.
Boxers are brief.
No. All right. Name me the integers of the Fibonacci sequence from the 5th to the 11th.
What? No. Next.
Yeah, what? My
That's all I could
brain
call- you were
hurt
right
from that
about
one.
me.
My brain hurt from that one.
I'll explain it to you later. What would it take for me to get you to play at least one map in your next big tournament in the Horse Mask? Money?
I
Women? Men?
if it's
What do
not
you
a
got? What?
disrespect, I mean, like, I would do it 100% sure if it wasn't a disrespect to the other team. But if the other team would be chill with it or something, I would definitely do. But at the same time, I could throw out a match. I can see well with my horse mask. I can tell you this: if I am in a really high, I go to something like quarterfinals or something, you can expect me to, after a match I won, break dance with a horse mask on. That's for sure.
I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right, so I say we each get 2 questions, and then we'll go from here. So second question for me is going to be, with IPL 6 going down, is there any competition that VVV and others are kind of setting their sights on to make that big move in North America, or is that what we're waiting for?
We're waiting for it. I mean, I hope something like MLG takes it. But there's talks of maybe EA, CEVO. I hope there's just something that we can just that Nadio comes forward and say there's something there's going to be something, because there's a lot of team that's going to stop playing. Like, I can already see that right now people are lacking, well, are not screaming as much since there's a potential no IPL 6. So I just want something that's there, a big tournament that's gonna be announced, but people know that it's gonna happen, so they don't stop playing. Like, there's people for sure like me, I'm gonna stay, and but there's people who are gonna leave for sure.
All right, winners?
That kind of. Yeah.
What would you consider your best weapon in Shoot Mania? Is it the rocket or the rail or even the nucleus?
For Elite, the rail definitely. But I don't know, nucleus. If you're in the face of the other, I mean, you don't really play it as much, but it's super deadly to nucleus. It's just you don't expect it, but yeah, the rail, weapon of choice.
Nobody expects the nucleus.
Nobody. and you deny it, but you don't have your rail back. So, like, the guy has his nucleus back, so it's double deadly. Anyways, go.
It's me now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who would win in a fight, you, Flame, or Grego?
In a fight,
Yeah.
Flame is pretty, like, he hits the gym. Like, did you see his specs? Like,
No, I didn't.
No, I did not see his backs.
yeah, did you, man? Fuck. Perfectly between men here. Perfectly. He's hitting the gym, all right. But I did kung fu for a lot of time, and even though I'm not muscular, I mean, it'd be a tight match between me and Flame. I think it's gonna be a tight match. Yeah.
So Grego is just completely gone. What if we add weapons
not really,
into the mix?
but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, weapons in the mix, like what? Like
Let's.
like rail or
Yeah, like no.
Like
Let's give you a Morning Star and Flamehopper a Screama Sticks. Who wins? Go.
Grego.
I
don't know.
Grego, because he's the only one going. I know exactly what to do with these.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've talked about most of the things that are going on, and if I'm not mistaken, very soon here the IPL 5 North American number 5 or IPL 6 number 5 North American qualifiers will be going on in a. Do they start at 7 or 7:30 EST? I can't remember.
Normally it's 7. So.
Okay, so yeah, so like 15 minutes. So be sure to go over to IPL, twitch.tv/IPL Shootmania and check out the action there. I know I'll be jumping over there after this. And any last words for you guys?
I don't know. I want to thank SteelSeries. That's it, and VV Gaming.
Nice headset.
Thank you.
I am also rocking the Steel Series.
Want to buy? I don't really have any much in the way of good words. Thanks for everybody who chills with us on TeamSpeak. It's a grand old time. More people should start doing it. ts.elitefist.com if you guys are bored. And go check out some of our servers floating around in Elite and Storm. That's about it. Oh, and CPOR. Those ones too. Yeah, do those ones too. Slug will never let me live it down if I don't say that.
As for me, I want to shout out all the teams and our viewers, especially whether you're watching this live or watching on a VOD later on, and all the people that cast and keep the game out in front of people. We'll be doing more with the Independent Broadcast Network, of course, with Shootmania coming up, so we invite you to be a part of that as well. And just thanks to everybody that the folks at Naudio and Ubisoft that are very cool with us and communicative with us and let us know what's going on. And just to everybody who's interested in Shootmania and interested in keeping it going, whether you're in North America or the rest of the world. I think the game has a great future, and we're going to keep covering it here every Monday on HitScan.
Yes, and I just want to thank Nimbus Winters and Degenerate for putting this together, because I have had a real busy couple of weeks with some real life stuff going on, and they pretty much did everything to get the show together, and then I showed up and got to ride the horse. So thank you so much, and hopefully we'll get some other community members here for you. I don't want to say anything official yet, because I don't think there's an official announcement, but there is something for sure that the three of us, being Winters, Degenerate, and I, that will hopefully be really pushing the North American scene here for Shootmania in the near future. And I'm hoping to get a guest from said thing that we will be able to kind of have an announcement and really grow the North American scene here in the near future. So if you're here in North America and or Europe and you're wanting to continue to see Shootmania grow, be sure to tune in here so you can get that announcement soon and really push that community. So again, thank you everybody, thank you for the viewers, and I hope you all have a good one.